Hello everyone, this is Mike from BTR Budget Tech Reviews, and today is the first review video of the CHUWI VX3 by DHgate. Okay guys, as you can see, this is a mammoth of a device. Now, if you guys didn't watch the unboxing video, I just explained a little bit on how I got this phone, and or phone slash tablet, or phablet as everyone likes to call them, and who I got it from, etc. So right now I have it set up on a little stand here, but let me go ahead and take that off really quick to show you how big this phablet is in the hand. And this is basically a no-name, not a no-name tablet, but a name tablet that we don't know about. Okay, so I got this phone from phablet from a company called DHgate. A representative messaged me and they asked me if I could review it for them, and I said sure, why not? This is a good opportunity for me. So let's start off with physical features before I get started here. As you can see, the back, it's a pretty solid phone. I mean, non-removable battery. Back here is an 8-megapixel camera. And let me go to the front really quick. In the front, as you can see there, there's the front-facing camera. It's a 2-megapixel camera, so not bad. Has a 3,000 milliamp battery, so if you decide to pop in a SIM card, whether it's AT&T, T-Mobile, whichever, you should get through a decent day depending on usage. It's got a 7-inch display, pretty big. Let me show you, just how big it is. This is my Nexus 5 with a case on, and this is the phone itself, and this is the phablet itself. Don't see anyone sticking this in their pocket or anything, to my knowledge. I was actually able to get this in my pocket, actually, when I used it the couple of times that I went out with it recently. But not a phone that, you're going to lose easily, obviously, because it's about the same size of a small tablet, basically. So, going back to physical features, it has a 1920 by 1200 screen, so not really full HD, or maybe so, depending, on your, perception of HD. But basically, you can watch YouTube videos on it at basically only on 720p. So you're not going to get, full HD, or like nowadays the 4K videos, which is coming out with all the UHD screens. So going back, the tablet has a flash right here, and if you go up here, you're going to see the logo CHUWI, and that's a W. It looks like a U, but it's a W. On the bottom left is the speaker grill. On the bottom is your micro USB charging port with the microphone up top. On top is your 3.5mm headphone jack, and let's get that popped open for you guys really quick so you can see where the card readers are here. Okay, so right here in the middle is actually where your micro SIM card would go, or micro SD card would go, excuse me. Out of the box, and you're not going to need it. So, this thing has 16 gigs of internal memory, so out of the box it's about 12 gigs of storage. So you won't need a micro SD card out of the box, but just for reference, that's it's there. Here's a micro SIM card, which, well, you know what? Hold on. This is actually your SIM card slot. This is your, right here where my middle finger is. Sorry guys, is your micro SD card slot. So micro SD card slot, micro SIM card, and your regular SIM card slot. So they all go right there. So interesting that this is a a dual tablet or whatever. Let me snap that back on. On the top right here is the volume rocker. See if you can see that or not. See if I can get a better, there you go, better lighting of that. And it even has, see if I can get that to autofocus there. There you go, your volume, although I have it upside down. And on the top left is your power button. So it's actually reversed. Your power button is usually on the right side, but in this case it's on the left side. And up here is your speaker grill. So going to specs, and excuse me, I have a little burpee. And before I start on the screen here, I also failed to mention that you have 3 capacitive buttons: your home, back, and your menu, which does not light up. So if you are expecting it to light up, guess what, guys? This does not light up like your normal capacitive buttons do on, higher end phones or tablets, for instance. So, got to take that into consideration. So out of the box, let's go to settings really quick, and we're gonna find out which version of Android this has. Let me see if I can get that zoomed in here really quick. There we go. Android version 4.4.2. So it's got KitKat, Android KitKat, which wasn't the greatest version of Android, and Android 5.0 is now out. So this is already an older version of Android. So not gonna complain about it. 4.4 is still out and about on a lot of devices today, and if you guys are into rooting, using custom ROMs, you could definitely play around with something like this. As far as a tablet goes, you can use it for gaming, etc. But going back to specs, this thing has an octa-core processor. Now, I don't know how to explain that. An octa-core processor. Most devices nowadays have quad-core processors, right? But this one has an octa-core processor. And let me give you guys an example here. Just show you how many cores it actually does have. And then where is my quadrant standard? Let's go look for quadrant standard. And well, that's widgets. Speed test, videos, YouTube. Quadrant standard might have disappeared actually. Let's look. Geekbench is still there, but quadrant standard disappeared for whatever reason, or maybe I'm just not seeing it. Hold on, product. Oh, there it is. Quadrant standard. Sorry guys, my eyes are a little buggy right now. So let's go to system information really quick, and let's get let's get that zoomed in for you. You can see me. Hi guys, how's it going? But there we go. It's gonna say system version 4.4.2. Device name is the VX3, and the brand is CHUWI. So I think that's pretty cool that it's naming the devices. And excuse me, my throat. But it's got 1.7 gigahertz octa-core processor. So let's take a look. It's running an ARM version 7 processor, revision 4. As you can see here, 8 cores, guys. So not too sure about the difference between 8 cores opposed to 4 cores. In my opinion, I think that would mean it's faster, and it's a snappy device. You can't complain. It runs smoothly as far as what I've been playing with it. And it's got 2 gigs of RAM, so pretty much up there with and solid devices. And I already ran a benchmark on this, and let's go to photos really quick. Let's see if I have a gallery on here. Here we go, gallery. Let's go to gallery. I already took a couple screenshots with this, and let me see. Hold on, there's a couple photos, and I took a couple videos, but last Tuesday, let's see, there's me right there, right guys, me and my roommate. I'm trying to find the screenshots, but I guess nothing on the screenshots. No, I don't want to take a picture. Well, I guess I'll skip on. Oh, here we go. Let's go to all. There we go, screenshots. So this device on quadrant standard, let's see if I can get that for you guys. I'm sorry, I have a lot of glare in this room. Is 13,197, which is pretty much at the very top of the list there. Now, of course, I know there are other devices that benchmark probably higher than this, but for this unknown name brand product to come out of China, from the DHgate website, that's pretty good in my opinion. I can't begin to fathom, what you can compare it to, as far as tablets like the Nexus 7 or the Nexus 10 devices go. I mean, but let me just show you how snappy this is. I mean, it's not. I don't feel like it's delayed at all. It works pretty quick. Let's go to recent apps. We can swipe through them pretty quick. It's really quick. So not any issues there. I just closed all the apps. I'm running Nova Launcher on this, by the way, guys, because I wasn't a fan of the stock launcher. So going back to specs here, minus the camera, and the version of Android, this thing, what would I say? You can use it as a phone. So, and the cool part about it is it's got dual screens. So let's see if I can get, shot of this right here. Let's see. But you can see there that it's telling me that I have no service. I'm connected to Wi-Fi, but that I have no service. So when I connected this, when I actually was able to put my my actual SIM card from this phone and jumped it over to here, it actually worked. Now this phone is claimed to be a 3G phone, and when you put in your SIM card, it gives you like a logo up here saying that, it says just the letter G and it turns green. But when I ran some speed tests and whatnot, I found out that it's not really a 3G. Well, it's a 3G device, but it only ran on T-Mobile's 2G network. I don't know how to explain that, but basically I was only able to get this to run on the 2G network for T-Mobile. T-Mobile's 3G is a little bit faster, I can say, because I've used other phones that were only 3G, on T-Mobile, and 3G was a lot faster than 2G was, and it feels like I barely have a data connection. But other than that, the SIM card worked. I was able to call out on it. I was able to receive calls, make calls, send text messages, watch things, etc. Download apps off the marketplace or the Play Store, but like I said, I was only able to get a 2G network, which is, very, very slow, less than 1 megabit a second to my knowledge. So other than that, this thing works pretty good. Let's go back here, and this is just the first video, guys. I'm gonna actually get a second video for you guys. But aside from the specs, the screen, it's an FHD display apparently, which is 323 ppi, so it's not a bad screen to look at actually. When you go like this and like that, and there's the transitions or whatever, you can see the screen. It's very vivid screen, and that's because I don't have the brightness all the way. Here's your notifications, and let's go to brightness really quick, and let me see if I can get that all the way up. There you go. So right now I have it really dimmed really low, so brightness all the way up, you can see there it's a huge difference. It probably, it made my screen brighten up or whatever, but I like to have it on low because, it's a big screen and it's really bright at times. So I like to keep it simple, and it's an IPS screen, so you can't complain about it. It's a good looking screen. It looks very vivid. The phone is only 4.8 millimeters thick, so going back to the physical part of it, it's not a thick phablet, to say the least. It's very thin. Doesn't weigh a lot either. Actually, it doesn't feel like it weighs that much. Let's take a look here. I'm actually gonna probably end this video, actually, guys. But on the next review video for this by DHgate, I'm gonna test the camera. I'll do another quadrant standard benchmark, and I'll get some gaming in before I finish the review for this phablet. So, as always, guys, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and if you guys haven't liked my Facebook page on Facebook, it's www.facebook.com/BT Reviews, and I'll leave that in the link down below. And of course, with the product details on this, this phablet here, and I'll give you a link to that. So, thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe.